Today, Rinpoche completed the section on the perfection of ethical discipline and showed us how the ethics of restraint is truly the basis of all other ethical disciplines, including the Bodhisattva vows and the tantric vows. This morning to the Chenrezig Center, we're once again looking at the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, specifically the section on training the mind, the stage of the path for beings of great capacity, and within that, the section that goes over the 6 perfections. And we're now on the second among the 6 perfections, the perfection of ethical discipline. And that begins on page 143 in the English. But I believe we're further in than that, but I'll just have to see where Sumbat Suchim Ki Ewa. So I know where we are. We're on page 148 in the English. Okay, Rinpoche.
Suchim Ki Ewa Katula Sajingantua, Suchijingon, Tambo. Nieba Suchim Gombalan Jubi, Niebaji, Suchiji Rotueva, Sombaji, Tada. Drubice, Jitasha, Shibaji, Tadaka Dua, Nandua, Naganon, Dana Sumbatma, Sumba, Suji was at.
Okay.
It was at Imba.
Okay, Ninning in the lot. Jigamarit. Okay, so when we're looking at this section on the perfection of ethical discipline, the main outline of it, we'll see that there are 5 categories. The first is what ethical discipline is, or the definition of ethical discipline. The second, how to begin the cultivation of ethical discipline, the method for cultivating ethical discipline. Third, the divisions of ethical discipline. The fourth, how to practice, the actual way in which we practice ethical discipline. And 5, a summary. So these are the 5 categories. Just to expedite this, I think a way we could do this to make it easier so no one has to talk, if you would like tea, just put your hand up and then they will bring you tea. And then once you have tea, put your hand down. And then that way we know everybody's gotten it and the teaching can just go on without any talking going on. These are the words of the Buddha. We shouldn't talk over them about tea for sure. The divisions of ethical discipline. So when we look at the 5 categories, again, those 5 categories are what ethical discipline is, how to begin the cultivation of ethical discipline, the divisions of ethical discipline, how to practice, and a summary. We've now gotten to category number 3. Category number 3, the divisions of ethical discipline. First, the ethical discipline of restraint. Second, the ethical discipline of gathering virtue. And third, the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of sentient beings. So these are the 3 categories, and that is the 3rd category among the 5. Decent.
What you did to the nearby sentient shooting, somebody the Rendoa. Tella, Tambun, that don't be shooting raw.
Lesser.
Don't be shooting the remember to my chancer goes to Carusman Lucana, Chancellor, Susu Taba, read Nula son base, and then Chancellor goes to don't be shooting the Susu Taba read Nula son dos, Susu Taba read the Galon Pami Dobani, Gazu Pami Dobani, Glob Mai Domba,
Lesser,
Dune the Reba,
Gene Pai Mai,
Gene Pami Domba, what the Dune la son be,
Lesser,
Sotaji don't then, Shanju Samba Dombala never in us.
Lesser,
Sotaji don't the Shanju Samba Soda Dombata never in us. Chimba Rajons, Shanju Samba, the Chimba don't Dombat Soda Dombat never the Shanju Samba Chimba Rajuni or
Lesser,
Chimba Rajun Shuji, Sotaji Dombat dance, Chimbi Dombat Tamanga, Rajun Dombat. Chimbi Domba Tamboson, Raju Domba Tamanga, Susu Taba, doing the Chimbi Domba Tamboson, Pami Dombani, Yeneg Dombason to Malasa, Raju Domba Tamanga, Galum Pamani, Gazu Pamani, Gloma, Martin Jirova,
Tonka J, Lesser. Okay. Okay, so we now have the divisions of ethical discipline. There are 3 categories of ethical discipline: the ethical discipline of restraint, the ethical discipline of gathering virtue, and the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings. So we begin with the ethical discipline of restraint. We find this from Asanga's bodhisattva levels, the Shansa, the bodhisattva bhumi, where it says the bodhisattva level says the ethical discipline of restraint is the 7 types of vows of individual liberation. Thus, given that there are those who have taken vows of individual liberation and are also keeping the bodhisattva vows, the ethical discipline of restraint is either the actual vows of individual liberation for the group of either lay persons or renunciates, or it is a practice of restraint and abstention that would be associated with those actual vows. So here, there are many things are mentioned. First, this comes again from Asanga's text, the Bodhisattva Bhumis, and it mentions 7 types of individual liberation vows. So in that case, that's speaking of the 2 types of vows for the householder, the male and female householder vow, the probationary nun vow, the male and female novice ordained vow, and then the fully ordained male and female vow, so making for a total of 7. If we add the 24-hour vow, it makes for a total of 8. So if we divide the individual liberation vows by way of vows that are for lay persons or householders and vows that are for ordination, we would say that when we divide it into the 8 categories of pratamoksha vows, we would say that 3 of those vows, the 24-hour vow, and the male and female householder vow, are all householder vows within the individual liberation vow. They are all vows of the lay person. The other 5 vows, the probationary nun vow, the 2 novice vows for male and female, monk and nun, and then the fully ordained vow for monk and nun, are the 5 ordained vows, or those vows for those who have gone forth literally. So there are the 3. If we're dividing it by 8, there are the 3 householder vows and the 5 ordination vows. Now, those individuals could also be keeping bodhisattva vows, or there could be individuals who are only keeping the bodhisattva vows, but are have the bodhisattva vows, but don't have the individual liberation vows. So the individual liberation vows serve as the best kind of foundation for the bodhisattva vow, but it's not required. So there are various different types of persons who have these types of ethical discipline. So all of these categories fall under this ethical discipline of restraint. So the ethical discipline of the bodhisattva, the ethical discipline of the renunciate in terms of the individual liberation vow. Translators note that individual liberation vows are renunciation vows. They're for a householder who has renunciation, or for an ordained person who has renunciation. That's why they're called individual liberation vows. They're for an individual who wants to be liberated, has a desire to definitely emerge. So as a note, they're for a renunciate, a lay renunciate or a ordained renunciate. So just as an addition. So any among the types of vow. Then in Rinpoche, nga dumba, the dumba, the Shanchu Sembi dumba, the nga dumba. So also the tantric vow would fall categorically under this, the secret tantric vows of the root and secondary, as well as the there's a secondary group. So those would all fall under this restraint. Diksan Rinpoche.
Dombi Sudin Shansa, Susu Taba Radio La Sombe, Sotaji Donden, Shanchu Sembi, Dombala Neba, Yinane, Chenmo Rajungi Shuji, Sotaji, Dombangun Dan Tada Dan, Tomoyu, Pondon, Dombi Sudin Las, that Chemba Rajun to Suki, Sodaga Domba Doba de Karshugorda, Dombi Switin Res, Dombi Switin Ila, Sotaraji Dombi, Tendo, Maron Yu Shanju, Sodaga Domba Tendo Maron Yu, Nala Shanju Sambatan Yorubota, Domba Ina, Donde Ina, Sodadan, Tomo Yu, Raji Kanamato, Chibi Kanamato, Cheriba, Bon Yu, Bondon, Dombi Switin Sos, and the Shanju Samba Maimbi, Tenaka, Sodaga Donde Maimbi, and the Shanju Samba Jula, and what the Raji Kanamato, the Chibi Kanamato, won't be Dombi Switin Res. Dag Kanamato, the Raji Kanamato, the Chibi Kanamato, Nija Kudua, Raji Kanamato, the Chibitanga, the Nyumba, Doja Kundula, so to Sukangato, Chikanamala, there's Kabuyur, Kanamato, the lover in the Mosago, Kanamato, Kanamato, Raji Kanamato, Chibi Kanamato, New York. Raji Kanamato shows na, but a Sujaba Tabote, Chembe Sujana, Debare, Rajung Sujana, Deba Yinza, Raji Kanamato res, Tendegri Galo, Raji Kanamato Sagres, Chibi Kanamato said, and Swanjig Chibi Wage, and Rajung Shinju Marzan, what the Chibatangela Momoyoro. What the GB Kanamato is, Rajung Shinju Marsaji Sombre, Chibi Shinjana Kayo Maruta. What the GB Kanamato, what the Rabbit to say is that.
Okay. So here, then it goes on to say, also, given that there are those who have taken the Bodhisattva vows who are unsuited to be recipients of the vows of individual liberation, the ethical discipline of restraint is the practice of restraint and abstention that gives up any deed that is wrong by nature, or any deed that is wrong by prohibition that would be associated with the vows of individual liberation. So, just one note here. I'm going to back up. It's thus, given that there are those who have taken vows of individual liberation are also keeping the bodhisattva vows, the ethical discipline of restraint is either the actual vows of individual liberation for the group of either lay persons or renunciates. This word they're translating as renunciate is the word for rapjung, which is means literally to go forth. That almost implies that the lay person doesn't have renunciation, when that's a renunciation vow that we're talking about. So just the way that they've translated renunciate almost infers that this layperson doesn't have renunciation, and that's not correct. So this renunciate just means a vow, an ordained, someone who's become ordained. It would be something that would be part of being ordained. You would have renunciation, but it would be part of an individual liberation vow for a lay person as well. So I just want to make it clear in the English, this doesn't have to do with the translation of Rinpoche's words. So he's not making this distinction. I am, because they've chosen to use this word renunciate, and it's misleading. All that means is an ordained person. It means someone who has gone forth. I looked at the Tibetan, it's rapjung. Rapjung means to go forth, means to become ordained. So this word renunciate just sends you kind of down the wrong idea when it's connected to the lay person, because both parties would have renunciation ideally. So I just saw that and it glared at me. So I'm just trying to really, as we have Buddhism in the West, really get this clear so that the words we use are correct when we're doing these commentaries. Because that changes things when you look at that. This just means someone who has any among those 5 vows. That's what the renunciate is meaning. Someone who has gone forth to take a vow of ordination. Okay, so the Tibetan word that they're translating as renunciate just means someone who's gone forth to take ordination. That's the word in the Tibetan. Also, so it reads on, also given that so this next part is talking about, I already read it, and Rinpoche only read it once. So there are certain vows that are wrong by prohibition, prohibited. They're wrong because they are prohibited. And then there are certain vows that are wrong by nature. So for instance, there are things that, certain behaviors such as killing. Someone who has gone forth, as well as someone who hasn't gone forth, or someone who has not gone forth or taken a layperson vow. Any being, any person, any human, killing would be something that is wrong by nature for. So all humans have this commonality that killing, use the example of a human, is wrong by nature. Wrong by prohibition is, for instance, an ordained person has a vow not to cut down a tree. But if someone who has no vows cuts down a tree, they don't have they aren't prohibited according to a commitment that they have made to not cut down a tree. So it's not a universal non-virtue, whereas killing would be considered a universal non-virtue. So this is the distinction that's being made here. Things of nature, such as killing, everyone would say this is wrong, this is a bad deed. Whereas something like cutting down a tree has specificity and is only wrong for the person who has committed not to do so. So this is the distinction that's made. Rinpoche makes this distinction a lot, and these are the correct words to use. Wrong by nature, wrong by prohibition. So it's prohibited if you have a vow not to do so, but that vow might not be common to everyone. So it's not a universal behavior that is prohibited. So therefore it falls under this specific category. So that's the distinction that's being made there. Now, in other things, such as the afflictions, when you're acting out on them, your behavior would cause others to concur that that's not correct, and you'd be embarrassed by it. So this would be something wrong by nature, just everyday behavior that all of a sudden becomes embarrassing because everyone concurs that you don't act that way. So that would be something that's wrong by nature as well. Rinpoche gave that example of something you become embarrassed by because everyone knows it's wrong and you did it. So it's not prohibited. It's not one of the things that were specific to you. It's something that universally everyone would concur is wrong. Okay, Selpal. Tuche. So this is the meaning of ethical discipline of restraint.
Nipa gawa chudu chudin showa suna, gawa chudu ne, pashin chola soba, pashin chola sobe gawa la mi nes, pashin chola sobe gawa la mi ne, ranju la ma cheba chejin menyamba dan kone kondo, pira shebe gawa dele, gawa chudu segres. Pashin chola sobe gawa tuso gawa ranju la ma cheba chejin, ne, chesimba na menyamba dan, kone kondo pira shebe gawa de, gawa chudu res, gawa chudu chudin sote res. Is that about?
So number 2, the ethical discipline of gathering virtue. The ethical discipline of gathering virtue means that you focus on virtues that, such as the sixth perfection, and develop the virtues that you have not developed in your mind. Do not spoil the ones that you've already developed and increase both of these ever further. So gaining virtue and not losing virtue that you have. Decent.
Gawa chudu chudin jere. Ta sentient tantric chudin roa. Sentient tantric chudin kanda ja urusna. Sentient tantric ne. Sentient namba juji ki tuan me ne. Tada ke dadna shimi tuan na kana ma toa meba. Cheta riba droba de. Dana jeba chudin liu na she do da ki ten la po simbe. Tere ngeba yana ya to tagu sos, dena susu tabi jeba na ne, shanju sembi donden rajun, radushun laji shuji yinbe, shanju sembi laja le, sodu yoba mayi la, chudin sunji na ne jang, donbi chudin sudaji jeba ngon san, dedan, tomo wala, jodu sheba ni, shanchu senpa la, toma keche yu, nini la laba shades, tel mamudu wala ka le juna ya saraba riba, senjen tuan sheba na, senjen tuan shik chudin shogo sana, sentient naba juji ki tuan la mine tedaki dedan shemi tuan na kana ma to meba chetariba druba des chetariba druba dela ne sentient tuan ki tsuchin segres ane sentient tuan ne sentient naba juji ki tuan la sentient naba juji di shosana juji de ja do sa
Is it Rasun?
de sentient naba juji do jirma je bu dong bon yo san do bu dong bo ne
J. Rinpoche
jirma
Becha.
je bu dong bo
Butambo Sena?
passbook
First book.
Dalam.
Okay. First.
yeah
Let me see here. Okay, so now we're on category number 3. So we've completed the meaning of category number 2, the ethical discipline of gathering virtue. So number 3, the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings. The ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings means that you focus on the welfare of 11 sorts of living beings and then accomplish their aims in this and in future lives in a suitable manner and without wrongdoing. Since I have already detailed this in my basic path to awakening, you should definitely read that over and over again. Ale, the J. Rinpoche, the Nge Becha, the Lamrim Chenmo, the Lama Tsongkhapa Kalen, the Nge, the Lamrim Becha, the Juchi, Mambo, the Yure.
dona jeba tsijin lu na je dos tsijin lu na je de jirma je
Oh, Kakare.
passbook ri je de
Okay, so
tsijin lu na je
so now, okay, so Rinpoche read that once and then said that there's a lot of information, so we're going to go slowly with this, and then went back. The ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings means that you focus on the welfare of 11 sorts of living beings. So what are these 11 sorts of living beings? So Rinpoche got Lama Tsongkhapa's first book out, which is referenced here, and we're going to go over what the 11 sorts of beings are according to that. I haven't seen this yet, so just bear with me. And I want to thank everybody for your patience over the years when things like this occur, because it's just so beautiful that we have this kind of learning going on.
sentient ne sentient naba juji ki tuan la mine tedaki dedan shemi tuan na kana ma to meba chetariba druba des da juji shosana juji do de ane ji Sambon Buddha Damana Yosare. What then the Nandu Lajan to Quebec, Nandu Lajan Sundua, Nandu Lajan,
The Yoruba.
Nandu Lajan Shugud de and Nandu
Let's go.
Lajan Shugud Sonja Sonju Sojere, Tayu Shitagoma College than the Nandu Lajan Juji de do.
Liberation. Jubura.
Oh,
What was the page? Shugugare?
Nandu Lajan did Nandu Lajan Sonja Sonju Sojel, Sonju Soje, Jersey del do.
The Shinju?
And Duji Sheba la Soba de Dean, sentient Kasa, sentient Juji Shosana, Shawa Shebatan, Dungenji, True Shebatan, Shawa Shebatan Simendo, Shawa Shebatan, Dungenji True Shebakanza, Tola Mobi Tuen Sheba, Ne Pendubi Tuen Sheba, Jibi Nebi Tuen Sheba, Nyange Jizi Tuen Sheba, Pombi Tuen Sheba, Ne Chawan Debi Tuen Sheba, Lu Tumban Debi Tuen Sheba, Yang Dabar Shubi Tuen Sheba, Loba Shubi Tuen Sheba, Juchiji Tuen Sheba De, Naba Juji in Las, Juji de Redwa. Siji Tuen Sheba, Juji se, Juji de Shosana, Juji de Redwa. Shawa Sheba Dan, Shawa Shebi Tuen Sheba, and Dungenji, True Shebi, Dungenji True Sheba, Dungenji True Shebi Tuen Sheba, Tola Mobi Tuen Sheba, 팬도 배 된시바 지비냐 배 된시바 냥에 냥에 지지 된시바 펑비 된시바 내 차원 대비 된시바 루트만 대비 된시바 양다버 쇼비 된시바 로바 쇼비 된시바 주주지 된시바 주지인 라사.
Okay, the Netambo the Dondagare. Kale Kale.
네, 그래네.
Okay.
주지 되는 말 용도.
Karshani the Yomari.
된시바 주지서도 되는.
Sanchangi done. Okay, I can get this. Let's do it. Thingy mipa kali kabudu the jase the tambo the chiran zugu that's it.
이제 된시도 다지하면도 되는 거 그래.
Okay. Junsheitsu ewa na dunyagi epa jan so for that gosh. If anyone has one of these that wants to start looking too, it's not in the appendix, which is not good. The sentient beings. It's got to be in the Dakshen Nyanje, the Geshe Lharampa there. Nangla.
sentient 된시가 주진 들어왔다.
Yeah.
There's a footnote in the back of our text that has
Okay, that would help. Where's that footnote?
265
Thank you.
under 238.
Okay, that will help, and then I'll combine it with the text. Thank you very much. I was trying to find it. All it's going to do is list it just like that in Liberation. Okay. Okay, then a tambo. The rason.
마다 저셔로 또.
Rason.
다 되는 말이 되네. 예 무슨 거 되는 말.
Okay. Pento. Okay, so the first category is those beings who need some kind of assistance, who are in need of their. They have some needs that have to be fulfilled. Tumba, dupa, nun ewa, yandapa, shupanya. And then the nipa, the top trugudu, the nipa, the charan lo, gangisan ang the injike rason, then charan lo chikshin le lar.
다
The tambo,
들라 된시주
the
샤와 당스 지면로 담보지
tambo tsar,
샤와 당 등에지 조셰 된시 니바지 털라 모비 된시 송바지 팬두비 된시 지바지 녜비 된시 나바지 냥아지지 된시 조바지 폼비 된시 듄바지 내 차유 된시 내 차원 대비 된시 듄바르바 루튼바른 대비 된시 지바른드바 Yang taba shubi tuan sheba, jeba, gubarba. Tena loba shubi tuan sheba, juba. Zutru je tuan sheba, jujis. Zutru je tuan sheba, zutru je tuan sheba, naba juji yin las.
Okay. Hold on. I just want to see something here. Ah, thank God. Okay, so there are 11 further ways, there are 11 further ways of working for the sake of others. Okay, so this makes sense. It is a little different. I was hearing it differently. That's why I kept looking. Number 1, helping those who toil and those who suffer. Those who have a suffering, working for the sake of those blind to the right methods. This is similar. Number 3, working for the sake of people by benefiting them. Word payun is in there, by benefiting them. Working for the sake of those threatened by danger is number 4. Number 5, working for the sake of those afflicted by miseries or various sufferings. Number 6, working for the sake of those of the deserted. Number 7, working for the sake of working for the homeless. Number 8, working for the sake of those without like-minded people. Those, I'd like to look at that. There's I'll go back to that. Working for the sake of those on the right path. Number 9. Number 10, working for the sake of those on the wrong path. And number 11 is working for the sake of those through miracles, or disciplining them through miracles. Okay, let me now. The ngi truwa yure, that's kali kali. Ngi the nandru lajang yure. Yine ngi truwa yure. That's kali kali. Jepa. This is. Oh, I got to go back to. What page were we on in English? Fast for me.
148.
Thank you. I have 3 books going here, so I'm just trying to. Okay. 11 swords. 395. Juchi mine. Okay. That's Suchin. Then Jepa Dondagare Rinpoche. De lo.
Shawa sheba tang, dungen ji zhu sheba, tala mobi tuan sheba, pen dobi tuan sheba, jibi nyebi tuan sheba, nyanga ji seyi tuan sheba, pombi tuan sheba, nai chawan dobi tuan sheba, lo tumbi,
there. De Dondagare.
lo tumba si zhuburo, nga su chambu yo na lo tumburo, zhubu panenzi.
De Dondagare.
zhubu yina, susu doba kari yina, lekha karjin tumbu yoro, lo tumba.
So number 8 is working for those who are have minds that is concordant with yours. So like friends. So let's see, what is number 8 here? Those who want mental harmony. It's different than that. It's working for the sake of those who are have mind that's concordant. So you see how difficult it is? There's 3 things here, and they're all different, and they're using the same Tibetan words, but they're translating them differently because that's the way that it looked to translate to them. But then when we have a Lama here, that's why a teacher is so important for all of us working. Then a drupa dondagare.
Loba shuba sade.
The yomare the jepa.
네.
The Kamba Mepa Dunba, then Drupa, Skonga Mebichinga, Becha Sum Da Tanda. The Dugnyel Yuken, Ngapa, then they Drupa, Sipo Yomari.
주바 가래도.
I gotta look at the Tibetan. 370.
샤샤바도 등에지 조시바. 등에지 조시바 된시바. 털어모비 된시바. 펜도비 된시바. 지비 예비 된시바. 냥아지 지 된시바. 폼비 된시바.
The
폼비
Pombi.
폼비 된시바서 다때네 지 가르소를 강연을 세디게는 뜻을 말해봤더니 아
Kange.
아니 어때 날 도겐도 아니 가린 지지금도 시에다줘요 폼비 등에
Nga Dugnyel.
날 나사도 아니 날 어때 르롱쇼요 말해서 어떤 데 개차 몸 시에다줘요 폼비 등에 봐
Then Khensur Rinpoche.
그것도 또 등에 봐 폼비 등에 봐
Okay, so then, and I asked Rinpoche about number 6, working for the sake of the deserted. And this is somebody who, for instance, would be saying, "Oh, I don't have any enjoyments. I don't have anything. I have nothing left. I don't have a home." So it's not just homeless. It's specific. It's everything. Just someone saying that they don't have things. So that would be an example of the deserted. What do we translate it as back here?
폼비 등에 봐 네,
Poor in goods. So that I like that one. Poor in goods. Pombi Sheba. Those who. It's almost like empty, like they're left empty. Okay. Ngay Sampa Kanga Sopaldu. So were all those clear at that? Now that I went with the way I did it, just because it's hard to do. Does somebody have written a list that seems clear? Were you able to do that? Okay, good. I just want to make sure, because I'm looking at so many things. I want to make sure there wasn't any among the 11 that wasn't clear. Okay.
폼비 등에 봐 네, 차월 대비 등에 봐스
Less.
네, 차월 대비 등에 아니 날 강바 그거도 가래나
Less.
지지세대
This Sopaldu.
what 속이 등에 시에다요
So then number 7 is specific to a house. If someone says, I don't have a house, I have nowhere to stay, that number 7 is working for them specifically. Number 6 is someone who doesn't have anything, doesn't have things in general. And then number 7 is specific to a home. Dene?
로 튕비 등에 봐스 로 튕바는 아주 좁어 참여 여행도 저기 등에 봐
And then number 8 is helping those even who have similar minds to our own. Those those who are like-minded to us, who have a concordance is the word that's used, tumbi. Those who are concordant is really all it says in the Tibetan, and then we made it into all this. Okay?
야 답을 쇼비 등에 봐스 야 답을 쇼바더네 먹기 주변 거 주변 송화다 돈이 공발라서 버더네 대배 여행 더 속이 등에 봐 인사 말বে 야 답을 쇼비 등에 봐스 먹기 주변 주변 송화 있나 야 답을 쇼바로
Yandapa Shupa.
야 답을 쇼바
The
먹기 주변 주변 송화 있나 야 답을 쇼바로 돈이 공부 있나 야 답을 쇼바로 what 속이 등에 봐더라 야 답을 쇼비 등에 봐스
So number 8, number 9, where one says the right path, the other says those who proceed correctly. That's better, because it's saying that helping those who are on the best behavior. So Rinpoche, I'm using this translation for this word that he's saying. I'm using best behavior, because he said an example of this would be someone who abstains from all of the 10 non-virtues would be an example of this. So that would be the ideal behavior, the best behavior. So it's working for someone who has the best behavior even. So it's so the number 9. One says working for the sake of those on the right path. That's what you would get out of what says in the book. But what it says in the book really is those who are proceeding correctly and on the best behavior. Then
다 양 답을 쇼비 된시바 로버 쇼비 된시바 말바 안에 레전드 요 말이 저 가지고 요 말이 로버다도 괜히 두서 된시바.
And then the next is those who have a wrong, who are proceeding wrongly. And the word wrong is specific to view, and meaning, there is no karma, there is no Four Noble Truths, nothing that is being said is correct. So those who are proceeding under those notions that things are in wrongly. So the wrong is specific to their tenet in this case. Then
저 주주지 된시바 주지로 주주지 된시바 데 나바 주지 요라스 주주지 된시바스 주주지 된시바스나
then nga zuchuyu nga cherampento
주주지 된시바 시단도 시다 주주지 된시바스 주주지 된시바스나 안치 주주여 괜찮 주주 때네 안 시제 된시야 요로다 나칼 보야도 몸바야올라서 어떤 데바 이나 시제 팬톤도 그러다
Gongel Mepeche Rinpoche, the Yul ga the Ngatsu Mipa Gare, the Semchen, the Zuchu Yuken?
Zuchuji so the Zuchuji so Zuchu yakan gogo no. Zuchuji tensheba des. Zuchu dene nal boya的sal mamba la soba. O den temba ina an sinjel penton da. Zuchuji tensheba de. Juji yulas.
Yene the Senchen, the Zuchu Yomari, Nga Zuchu Yu. Just it sounded for a minute like helping those with clairvoyance or powers, but it's using powers if you have them to help sentient beings. So Rinpoche gave the example, for instance, how someone could, for instance, demonstrate impermanence by having something burn in the sky. A road in the sky, or using some sort of supernatural power to help a being in some way. And that's one of the examples from scripture.
What that Jeremiah sentient donji katudele sentient naba juji ki donla mene tada gande da shimi donala kanama to maba jeda jeba druba de sentient juji do de Jeremiah somo putu tambono yosare de nandu la jan Shudon de Dua, Nandu Lajan Shudon Sonja, Sonju Suji Sogunildu.
So in the that's funny. I was looking everywhere, and this version has the Tibetan page numbers in it of liberation, so I could have very easily just slowed down and looked at that. Okay, so we would find this information of the 11 types of beings in 2 places, more, but specifically in these 2 cited here. One being Lama Tsongkhapa's text, and it's called the first book. So I guess when you catalog the Songbom, which are the collected works of Lama Tsongkhapa, it's done in this some way that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the first book, Rinpoche said, and it must be the basic path to awakening. That's what it says here. Let's see what the footnote says. Rinpoche, this Shanchu Sembi Tsuchunji Nansha Shanchu Zhunlang. The Lama Tsongkhapa Becha?
Shanchu Lama Tsongkhapa passbook no.
Okay, so yeah, that is. I read the Tibetan name of the text, and Rinpoche said, yeah, that's the first text. The first book of Lama Tsongkhapa, so it's the basic path of awakening. Sutrim li nanshat.
Sentient donji ne, sentient naba juji ki donla mine tada ki detan shimi dona kanama to meba chetadeba druba des sentient naba juji to teresha. Jeremy somu jina putu tambono yosare.
Lesu.
Ane nandu la jan wate shugo sonja sonju soje to sogunyin duwa.
So we find this category by way of 11 in Lama Tsongkhapa's first book, among the collected works called The Basic Path to Awakening. And we also find it in Pabunka Rinpoche's Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand in the section on ethical discipline. In the Perfection of Ethics section. I don't know if the page numbers would be the same in all the different, there's a lot of versions of this. So it would be the section on the second perfection, the perfection of ethical discipline, where we would find the 11 further ways of working for the sake of others. So it's interesting also, it's translated here as 11 sorts of beings, but it could also, I'd have to look again at another time, but it's almost 11 ways of working for different types. So it's almost like there's the ways is in the translation. So just leave it there. Geshe Rinpoche.
Sentient number, sentient ne, sentient number juji la means sentient number juji to Teresha. Jirmi Somujina Poto Tomino Yosare. Nandu Lajan Shugo, Sonja Sonju Soji to Sogo Nolondo.
Sumja, Sumju
Soji to Sogo.
J. 338?
Yeah, 89.
338? Nandu Lajan?
89 in the Rendo, Sonju Soji to Sonju Sogo.
Sumju?
Soji to Sonju Sogo, Sonja. Sonja Sonju Soji to Sonja Sonju Sogo.
Okay, so we find this, if someone would like to look for these 11 types in The Basic Path to Awakening, which is Lama Tsongkhapa's first book in the collected works, and then also in Pabunka Rinpoche's Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand, in the Tibetan page number 383. Sumju Suje. Sumju Suje.
Suje to Sogo.
89, 389 in the Tibetan Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand. It's in the section on the perfection of ethical discipline. It's very small and it's right in there. And it follows the outline. Liberation, just as a translator's note, follows the outline of the Lamrim Chenmo. So it's a commentary on the 22 or however many day teaching, which is a commentary on the Lamrim Chenmo. So this is the 11 sorts of living beings as explained in these two texts mentioned.
Kanamato meba, ne Raji Kanamato, Jibi Kanamato meba, Cheta Riba Cruz Dabanaji, Druba de, or Tanijila Singing to Jesus, Druba de la Singing to Jeba, Singing Juji, Naba Juji to Druba de. Tena Jeba, Jeremiah Jeba, Chujin Liu Nashi to Daki, then la Posin Base, Chujin Liu Nashi to Jeremiah, someone put Juji, no, put the Tom with the Redisha. Dena Jeba, Chujin Liu Nashi to Daki, then la Posin Bay. Telling about the Yana Yanto, Dagusos, Jeremiah, Chujin Liu Nashi Catul Sonsin by Yens. Dagures, Daguso. Dena, Jusen Tishana, Susutabi Jebanane, Shanju Sembi, Donden, Radu Shunyu, Raji Shuji Imbes, Susutabi Jebananes, Sutagadumbi Jeba. Susutabi Jebanane, Shanju Sembi, Donden, Radu Shunyu, Raji Shuji, Sonja Shuji Imbe. Shanju Sembi Laja Le Soto, Yoba Mayelas, Shanju Semba Suta Dumba Juneyina, Sutabi Dumba to Shanju Sembi Laja Le Shuji de Matu, Sotokayo Maris. Shuji Imbe, Shanju Sembi Laja Le Soto, Yoba Mayelas, Sutabi Dumba to Shanju Semba 되게 하자 레디오아레스 텔레 소도 여바 마인라스 최진 송지 나네 장 동비 최진 니셔 동비 최진 아니 세계 도지 최진 거 주디 최진 송지 나네 장 동비 최진 수다지 제방원상得当 토모와라 조도 셰바 니 샹주 셈발랑 토마 개체 데니라 사바샤데스 어떤마도 어떻스든도 다 되나 수수답이 수답이 제반나는 샹주 셈비 돈에 러도 쇼이 하지 수지레스 수수답이 동바데 샹주 셈바이는 수수답이 동바데 샹주 셈비 하자가 수지레스 수지 임베 샹주 셈비 하자레 소도요 말레스 소타가 주진도 저걸로 샹주 셈비 하자가 수지레스 샹주 셈비 하자레스 샹주 셈비 하자레 소도요 바 마인라스 주진 송진나네 도비 주진 거 주디 주디 세전 된지 주진 송진나네 도비 주진지 도비 주진 소타지 제방원상 도비 주진 소타지 제방원상得当 통화라 조동시바니 샹주 셈발랑 토마 개체 데니라 사바샤데스 주진 송진나네 도비 주진 니셔 도비 주진 세전 된지 주진 송진나네 동비 주진의 다도데 소다지 제바 소소답이 동바 임바 소다지 제방원상 대단 통모유 조도 셰바 라자고레스 셰바니 샹주 셈발랑 토마 개체 동비 주진의 샹주 셈발라 개체버레스 샹주 셈바 마임발라 개체바 마지 샹주 셈발라야 개체 데니라 사바샤데 도미 주진데 라고도스 사바샤데 사이 텔라보 도알레 사용 텔라보 도아 저변 봐봐 도메 도아리 사등아 도나니 도아다 군디르바 와 도아 나바 텔라보 도아 저변 봐봐 도메 중레 사이 텔라 아바 도알레 데데 송도스 주진 나바 송보 다달레 다다데 도비 주진데네 듀브르시바다 듀브르시바 인데스 도비 주진데네 듀브르시바다 듀브르시바데스 듀바다 제바스완지메로 조르 셰바 인데스 다신 도미 주진 다신 도미 주진 송바 이나 송나 텔레 제만나자 동신 송원조라스 도미 주진이 야부 송바 이나 근데 젠도 사자 젠다가 레라부 송도가 작은 송도그레스 송라 조라 도미 주진이 마다시 마송나 텔레 제만나자 마동신 마송원주 대실 네 샹주 셈비 동비 주진양나 동바진 타진 냐바 임바 저버샤오스 대시르 샹주 셈비 동비 주진양소나 근데 샹주 셈비 동바진다 그가 냐는 거레스 냐바 임바 저버샤오스 셰송소스 도아게 롱들에 도아
That's okay. Then
She's one bishop also.
Mambo, you're right. That's
갈레주갈레
okay. So now, number 3. There's quite a bit of information, but we've gone over the points that the 11 sorts of beings are found in these two texts: the Basic Path to Awakening, which is the first among the collected works, and also in Pobunka Rinpoche's Liberation in the palm of your hand in the section on the perfection of ethical discipline. Then we read on. Therefore, since the rules... I'm sorry, so Rinpoche reread this. Since I have already detailed these in my Basic Path to Awakening, you should definitely read that over and over again. So again and again, familiarize yourself with these types. Therefore, since the rules of the vows of individual liberation are one aspect of the precepts for renunciates, for those who have gone forth, who have taken the bodhisattva vows, they are not set off apart from the precepts for the bodhisattvas. Also, within the three divisions of ethical discipline, the ethical discipline of restraint, the actual rules of the individual liberation vows, or the practice of engaging in that is to be adopted and rejecting what is to be cast aside, that would be associated with these vows, is initially very important, even for bodhisattvas, so train in this. So it's saying the ethical discipline of restraint permeates the ethical discipline of gathering virtue and the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings. So it's saying that these other two are connected in a very specific way to the first. And then where does this information come from? We find it in the Bodhisattva's levels. We find there are the... this is in Asanga's text. Asanga wrote the 5 treatises on the levels and the 2 compendiums. So this is one among the 2 compendiums. And it supports the point about the ethical discipline of restraint being foundation for the ethical discipline of gathering virtue and the ethical discipline of acting for the welfare of living beings. Among the 3 aspects of ethical discipline, the ethical discipline of restraint includes and reaches to the other 2. When you are bound by it and safeguard it, you will be bound by the other 2 and safeguard them as well. And when you are neither bound by nor protect it, you will not be bound by the other 2 nor safeguard them. Consequently, it is said that if bodhisattva's ethical discipline of restraint degenerates, all their vows degenerate. So it's showing even the connection between the restraint and the bodhisattva vows. So the ethical discipline of restraint is necessary in individual liberation vows, in bodhisattva vows, but when we look at it from a universal aspect, that universal behavior, the restraint of the negative universally negative behavior, serves as a basis and connects to these other 2 divisions of ethical discipline, as well as the furthering of various types of vows. Diksun Rinpoche.
Ta de shira susu tabi domba nyen tuji hino nya to sone de yudu ki jeba nan do de shangju senbi la ja yin shi la loju yeba ke sawa ne shangju senbi chudiji labi nena mazin ba yin des dombi chudin ne chudin shema ni ji jidan nen so len doma sombi shiros watan ma te yung do ta ne tan jerma chi gaba jong do te shira soda dombi susu tabi domba de nyetu ki chudin res nyetu ji no nya do zo ne te yu do na jeba na to de sa ma song ba je ne sha ju sen be la ja yin shi la lo ju ye ba ke sa wa ne sha ju sen be chudin ji la bi ne de ya bu shi mu dos ne ma zin ba yin des ne ga de ya bu shi mu dos ne ma zin ba yin de dombi chudin ne chudin shima ni ji dombi chudin sentient de gowa chudin ni lo dombi chudin de gowa chudin da sentient de chudin ni ji na ni ji ji da ne so len to ma son bi shiros dombi chudin de gowa chudin sentient de chudin ni ne ji yin si je shima ni ji ji da ne so len to ma son bi shiros 다 dombi chudin tuwa de jermachin de gaang ro ta ti shir susu tabi domba nyetui jin no sha tu zo ne susu tabi domba nyetui chudin res zo ne ti jodu ki ne na ma song ba je to de shangju senbe laja yen she la loju ye ba ke sa wa ne shangju senbe chudin je labi ne na ne ngwa ma se ta res ne ma se ba yin de dombi chudin shima nyeji, dombi chudin de sentient de chudin da gawa chudi chudin ji jidang nenso lento mason be sere domi chutin ta jemande de sere jemande domi chutin je an seje de je chutin ne nije domi chutin yo go sere tomason be chero domi chutin je to ya rajin je khana ma to na bo yin las domi chutin to de rajin je khana ma to rajin je khana ma to se Chenbage deba Chenbage jena deba rajung jena deba yengel rajin kana mado sujo bade chembe sujo na ya ane deba yore rajung sujo na deba yoro ten da rajin kana mado chebi kana mado rajin kana mado was rajin kana mado bon yin las domi chudin ji zu rajin kana mado bon wares zu rajin kana mado sujo bala su bo de bon wares Pomba yin las rajin na ya nyemi chi ne na do ne teba gu ta je do sombe mogi jubon yembe tada la ne kulong zaya maju go ne gosun yang da ba dong go te haji de ba ta long ji jang go do do mi chudin ji zo do mi chudin zo yang ra ji ji kan na ma to ba bong be chudin de do mi chudin zo do de ra ji ji kan na ma to bong be chudin le ya go res ji bi kan na ma to bong be chudin da ra ji ji kan na ma to bong be chudin ni ge na ne ra ji ji kan na ma to bong be ne chudin de zo res Bon yin las rajin na je ya nyemi che rajin kana ma to de jibe kana ma to ni ga na rajin kana ma to de nyeba chibres nyemi che ne na duba ne teba go ta je do sonbes teba koma do ma ta je lo do son yo res ne zo magjo bon yin bes magjo dres magjo don gawajo magjo do de rajin ji kana ma to wa de bon yin be tada la kulong zang yang magjo yus magjo bon go chudin de wa de kulong zang magjo go ne go sun yang da ba dong go des kulong zang magjo yu go sun le ji ne ba nga ge ne ba wa de su ga yang da ba dong go song go res dong go de 소송은 파신 뒤발에 그러면 보고를 봐. 파신 뒤발에 토레 답이 들랑 줘봤던 토레 답이 들랑 줘봤대. 레랑 줘본다나 냐메자 들라네베 졸라 펜상베 삼비 제반데보 여반조로 나르 예나야다 당샤와 누드 추진 인시 자유송 누드 추진 인시 자유송 추진 말로 누이 제인베 디신데다 나버라 장월지 셰송신스 셰송지 된 마데즈 마모도와 답 파신 뒤발레스 토레 답이 들랑 먹이 주봉 추진데 사담이 고본토비 들랑레스 디랑 먹이 주봉 추진 소나 살 저거래 멀리제네 그러고다 토레 답이 들랑 줘봤데스 먹이 주봉 추진 소나 살 저거래 멀리제네 그래서 줘봤대 레랑 줘본데네 냐메자스 먹이 주봉 추진데 네 마냐바 제고 그래서 네 냐메자 ndela 먹이 주봉 추진라 네베 룰라 펜상베 상비 제반 대부 여반조로스 먹이 주봉 추진 여바이나 도와 진라 펜반데베네 산로데 제부도 여바 용거레스 ndela 네베 먹이 주봉 추진 ndela 네베 룰라 펜상베 룰라 펜바드베 산로 여바츠 상비 제반 대부 여반조레스 제부 여반조로 르가이나 양다 당샤와스 르니에바가기 르가이 속에 니에바 당샤와 Dudu Chudin is Jayu Sons, Lujinaba, Naginaba, Hijinaba son Damba Somba Tele, and then Jayu Chudin is Shajaman Buddha Son Yoris, Jayu Son. Chudin Malin du Jayinbes, Chudin Malin du Jayinbe, Tation Dada, Naba Jean Jis, Chudin Malin Jayinbe, Tation Dada, don't be Chudin. Sentient and you should don't be treating that Naba Jama Jis, Shes on Jins. Suman da Dabe Jang, treating Pashin Ji, Gozo, Nogo Jubunla, Shelas, but then da Dabe Jang, treating Pashin Gozo, the Magjubung treating those on those Jubunla Shela. 사주발라 소비 너도 도마야 대다른 종유 사주발라 소비 너도 도마야 대다른 종유 토만들라 돈비 추진 하더라 동생 장나 추진 하마 나장 들라도 루반저 돈비 추진 야부 송토바이나 추진 하마도 야부 송토바 용거레스 루반저로 Dada Jeta Druban, the Kali Juga. Dada Jeta Drubane. Tamba Drudan, Passion Drudan to Druba Shate, Drubate. Passion Drudan to Drubice, ne Ran, Chutin la ne, Jen Chutin Langoba, Chutin Jimba in la, Hamanane, Hajinos, whatever the Kali Juga.
Kabarka, that you know. This Sambatsar? You know, Kabarka.
Vajin Duba.
This the Dixon, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Okay, so we read the whole quote from the Bodhisattva levels, correct? I read the whole quote. Okay. If you think that the vow of individual liberation are for Shravakas, and if you cast aside their prescriptive and proscriptive rules and say there are other precepts, bodhisattva precepts to train in, then you have not grasped the key point of the bodhisattva training in ethical discipline. For it's often said that ethical discipline of restraint is the basis and source of the next two types of ethical discipline. So here it's saying that the wrong view or the misconception is that when we look at the vehicles, there are the hearer, solitary realizer, and the bodhisattva vehicle. There are three. So it's mistaken to think that, these individual liberation vows are just for the lower vehicles, such as the hearer vehicle, and I have further things to focus on, such as the bodhisattva deeds. So I can cast those aside and really focus on the higher trainings. And the reality is that the foundation of those higher principles is is the individual liberation vows. It's the best basis for those higher trainings. So it's saying it's incorrect to see those as a lower way of conducting yourself, because they are the foundation for everything beyond that. It says, furthermore, the principal aspect of the ethical discipline of restraint is abstaining from deeds that are wrong by nature. So we look at those two categories, wrong by prohibition and wrong by nature. Wrong by nature is something that is common to everyone. Wrong by prohibition is something specifically you have committed to not engage in yourself. Here it's saying, furthermore, the principal aspect of the ethical discipline of restraint is abstaining from the deeds that are wrong by nature. So the main aspect of that type of ethical discipline is the one that's common to everyone. The subsets are something that is less of the main point. Moreover, it is taught in all the vehicles, higher and lower, that this abstention from deeds that are wrong by nature is the abstention from the 10 non-virtues, which comprise the crux of major faults of the deeds that are wrong by nature. So if we're looking for a way to categorize what deeds are wrong by nature, we can find them in the 10 non-virtues. One engages in the ethics which abandons the 10 non-virtues activities, but there's no vow to do so. That's a something that is common or universal in terms of behavior. You must correctly restrain yourself physically, verbally, and mentally by not allowing a flicker of mere motivation for these non-virtues. The Compendium of Perfection states. So then, again, the text by Arya Shura, Lopun Pawo. We have the story from last week of Lopun Pawo, Arya Shura, and this is his text, the Compendium of Perfections. And the way that we engage in non-virtuous activities is through our body, speech, and mind. And our mind begins the motivation to set this body and speech in motion. So it says even the motivation, by not allowing a flicker or of mere motivation for these non-virtues. And then the Arya Shura's text, the Compendium of Perfection, states, also known as Ashvagosha, just for anyone who's hearing these names. Arya Shura is also known as Ashvagosha. Furthermore, the principal aspect of ethical discipline of restraint is abstaining from the deeds that are that are wrong by nature. Moreover, it is taught in all vehicles, higher and lower, that this abstention from deeds that are wrong by nature is abstention from the 10 non-virtues, which comprise the crux of the major faults of the deeds that are wrong by nature. You must correctly restrain yourself physically, verbally, and mentally by not allowing a flicker of mere motivation for these non-virtues. The Compendium of Perfection says, do not let these paths of action degenerate. They are the path to the joys of high status or liberation. By maintaining these, you reach your goals, which are special contemplations wherein you think of helping beings. So we know that the ethics which engage in the abandonment of the 10 non-virtuous activities is what gives rise to happiness, gives rise to the higher realms of cyclic existence. So in dependence upon those ethical behaviors, one gets a rebirth in the humans, demigods, and God's realms. So it says they are the path to the joys of high status. And then the next level of ultimate happiness is liberation in the two sets. Here, the Hinayana liberation or nirvana, and then Buddhahood, which is the ultimate happiness. So ethical behavior is the basis of all of these high status and liberation. Then correctly restrain your body, your speech, body, and mind. The Conqueror said, this in brief is ethical discipline. So the restraint of speech, body, and mind. This is the basis that comprise all ethical discipline. So train in this restraint. And then it says the Master Charndakirti also explains the practice of the perfection of ethical discipline as abstaining from the 10 non-virtues in the chapter on the perfection of ethical discipline of his explanation of the Middle Way commentary. And such explanations also occur in many sutras, such as the Sutra on the 10 Levels. Therefore, if you initially train your mind in restraint as presented above, you easily accomplish the remaining 2 types of ethical discipline. Diksan. Nga kanga the sumba kanga losan. Lo da drapa then the rimbo ju the do the kanga lasan.
Da kita druban da jeta druban tamba truden da phajin truden tu druba te phajin truden tu drubi che ran chutin la ne jen chutin la go ba chutin ji jen ba yin la hama na la Paginos, Tada Jeta Druban, Tamba Trudent, Pagin Trudent to Druba de Pagin Trudent to Drubice, Pagin Trudent to Drubice Canis Druwarzana, Ran Chutin la Nene, Jen Chutin Langoba, Chutin Ji, Jimba in Las, Jen Chutin Langoba, Chutin Ji, Jimba in Las. Hamanala Hajinos, Tadaka Druba, ne, Tamba Truden, Pashin Truden to Druba de 파신 조된 주비체 파신 조된 주비체 나 간다서 두고 알았나 수수 수진송 라 수진라 내내 이제 수진란 거 봐대 수진 지신 봐레스 라 수진라 내내 이제 수진란 거 봐 수진 지신 봐 지신 봐 인라스 라 수진라 내내 네 이제 수진란 거 봐라 Jimba Tsudin Zoba Lango Bade and Tsudin J Zoba in Jero. Tsudin Zoba and Rabban Rabaja inside. Tamba Jordan, Pajin Jordan to Drubice. Pajin Jordan to Drubice. Ran Tsudin La Nene, Jen Tsudin Lango Bade, Tsudin Jimba Secretaries. Ran Tsudin La Nene, Jen Tsudin Lango Bade, Tsudin Jimba. Ran Tsudin La Nene, Jen ane tsudin lango ba tsudin jimba je jen tsudin jimba tsudin zoba lango ba de ane tsudin je zoba yin jiro tsudin je zoba ran tsudin la ne jen tsudin lango ba de ane tsudin je tsudin jen ran tsudin la ne jen ane jimba tsudin zoba lango ba de tsudin je zoba wa de rabban ja song den sar ran tsudin la ne yen tsudin la ngo ba tsudin ji jin ba ran tsudin la ne yen tsudin zoba la ngo ba de tsudin ji zoba wo de shin ru ga la rabban ja song de sa
Dene the nga selpo lab go. Dene the jimba dana the nga the chikshin of the Cheran, the Sutrim, Shera Yapudu, Sutrim Nyanlan Sheronang, then the Jimba.
ran tsudin la ne so tsudin song
Let's so.
ane yen tsudin la ngo ba tsudin jimba so de se ane tsudin song yen le tsudin song se la ba yin na tsudin jimba de se
Then Zupa.
yang tsudin la ne yen jimba tsudin zoba la ngo ba de tsudin ji zoba yin jiro tsudin ji zoba ran tsudin la ne zoba tsudin yen tsudin la ngo ba de tsudin ji tsudin wo den rabban ja song de sa
Okay, I just want to clarify this. Now we're on D, 4, how to practice. So we're going back, we have those 5 categories. This is the number 4 of how to practice. You practice the 3 types of ethical discipline in association with the 6 supremacies and the 6 perfections. When you practice in association with the 6 perfections, the generosity of ethical discipline is establishing others in ethical discipline after you stabilize yourself in it. The remaining perfections are as presented before. So then Rinpoche said, once you establish yourself in ethical discipline, then you establish others. Generosity, then you establish others. You've established yourself in patience, then you help establish others in patience. So this is the meaning of it. I'm just trying to see what the connection...
tada jeda drubice tamba druden tang pashin druden du drubice drubade
the nga zupa nyamlan nga zupa yure dene nga cheran ropache the zupa
ran chudin la ne jen chudin la goba ran
jen chudin la gopa sena khandre
jen chudin la son de churon chudin son se la na jen chudin la goba mar betna so chudin son ane yen le chudin son se la ba yin na chudin yin ba de se da
dene
so chudin son churon chudin son se la ba yin na
then sutrim
so chudin son yen le chudin son se la ba yin na
lessa
chudin yin ba de se so chudin son yen zoba lu go ba yin na ane chudin ju zoba yin ji ro ane shin ru kan da ba yin ji ma
ale
ran chudin la ne yen chudin la go ba chudin ji yin ba ran chudin la ne yen chudin zoba zoba lango ba chudiji zoba chundu lango ba chudiji chundu santen lango ba chudiji santen
Okay.
shiro lango ba chudiji shiro.
So when we're looking at this specific generosity, when we have the ethics of generosity, when if we ourselves are established in ethical discipline, and then we encourage others. So I said, well, how do you establish others in it? I asked Rinpoche that question, and he said by encouraging. That's encouraging or establishing by encouragement or showing the way in a sense. So then we would apply the others. So the ethical discipline of generosity, the ethical discipline of ethics. I said, what's that? And he said, well, that would be establishing others in ethics. And so I'm a little unclear. And then he said, patience, you yourself have patience. Establishing others would be the ethical discipline of patience, of establishing others in patience. And then we could apply the same to all of the others: patience, effort, concentration, and wisdom. So this is the how we establish these and Rinpoche, the selpo lagu, the ngazu generosity of ethical is establishing the jimbi tsuchim. The
Aba Jordan dan Pashin Jordan to Druba de Pashin Jordan to Drubitse Ran Chutin la son Ran Chutin son Yen Chutin son Laba
Jimba.
Chutin Jimba
this selpo do.
Ran Chutin la ne Yen Tundu Lango ba de Chutin ji Tundu Yen Sanden Lango ba de Chutin ji Sanden
Then garshine the jimbi zunju yomare. The nga zunju yure. Then
Dom Chutin Zen Chutin Ran Chutin la ne Yen Chutin Lango ba de Chutin ji Jimba yin las Ala Tambon go tenen zo den Draban Drabarota.
but then may nga zupa yuna may genda zupa.
Chutin son Yen Chutin son Laba
Garshine the jimbi zupa.
Chutin ji Jimba Chutin ji Jimba
Okay.
Chutin son Yen Chutin son Juba yina
Lesso.
Chutin ji Jimba res
Lesso.
Chutin ji Jimba tamba drama
Lesso.
Chutin ji Jimba
Selpo do.
Chutin son Yen Zoba Lango ba de Chutin ji Zoba res
The
Yen Tundu
garshine
Lango ba de Chutin ji Tundu Santen Lango ba de Chutin ji Santen Shira Lango ba de Chutin ji Shira Oden Draban yin sarong
this zupi jimba yomare zunju jimba yomare. Gange
Chutin ji
sene.
Jimba Chutin ji Jimba Kono Baja Kono den do
Okay. I'm not going to take this any further, but I'm just, I don't know, maybe it's not confusing at all, and I'm confusing it, but what it's saying is and you look in the back footnotes, it's not helpful. The remaining perfections are presented. So Rinpoche is saying, if you have established yourself in ethical discipline, then you establish others, then this becomes the generosity of ethics. But then if you have patience and then you establish others in patience, somehow this becomes ethical discipline of establishing others in patience. So my question was, why isn't that the generosity of patience? Because you're establishing others. So that's where I just left it at, and I could tell that I'm not asking my question properly, so I'm going to just leave it there. But I'm just confused by that. Establishing others after you. Nga tsuchim yu. Dene me jenda tsuchim the tsuchim jimba.
Chutin son se Laba yina
Lesso.
Chutin ji Jimba res
Tsuchim jimba. Dene the kali
Ran
kali.
Chutin son Yen Zoba Lango ba yina Chutin ji Zoba
Garshine the
Ran Chutin son Yen Santen Lango ba yina Chutin ji Santen
jimbi
Ran Chutin
tsante.
son Yen Shira Lango ba yina Chutin ji Shira
The jimbi shero. Yomaribe. The jimbi shero. Jimbi zuba. Jimbi zunju.
Chutin ji Jimba se Tambon go Chutin le zo ndo
Okay.
Tada jeta Drubitse Tamba Druden dan Pashin Druden to Druba
It's supposed to read the ethical discipline of generosity, not the generosity. That's what's messing, I think, the English up. It's supposed to read the ethical discipline of generosity, the ethical discipline of giving patience, the ethical discipline So if you read it like that in the English, then doesn't confuse anything. It should be the ethical discipline of generosity, establishing others, and I don't know. So anyway, it should read like that, though, if we look at the Tibetan. The ethical discipline of blank. The ethical discipline of blank. Okay, Sopal. Ngayon saan ba the indicate the trusun? So then you can look at the remaining perfections and establish them in the same way, connect them in the same way, and see how they interact with one another. Okay, so there are 5 categories, and now we've completed 4, and we've moved on to number 5. Okay, so there are 5 categories altogether. The first category, what ethical discipline is, the definition of ethical discipline. The second category, the method of cultivation, or how to begin the cultivation of ethical discipline, the method, the divisions of ethical discipline, how to practice, and then a summary. So now we're at number 5, the summary. Ngapa Dadagi Dundua.
Ngapa Dadagi da Chujing Saji Ngadi Song Naganone, Jiggy Dunda to my Dudujin Song Marva. Jiggy Dunda, Ngapa Dadagi Dundua Nes.
So this will be a summary of those previous 4. So that's what 5 is. 5 just summarizes 4, all 4.
Should be then Shanju Sen Manashins, should be then Shanju sent the Zawarata, Shanju sent the Zawaje, Shanju to the Saint Jane, and then Raju Major Passion Trodan, Janju Major doing of a Gil Hogurta. They none at that Jimba the Rose, that shooting got to let them over. Shooting the Sajing on Nabat Dua. Nabat the Dagger Dua ne. Should be then Shanju the same man, should be then Shanju sent the 2 Manaba Jagures, sentient tantric to Sanju Kumotuba Shao Nabe, then sentient Manaba Jagures, Sanjiban the Jendunse, and that do be Shanjundus, what the sentient do the sentient. To Shanju to the Sanjay the Manaba in Anna, Shindul Hoggy in order Penchubu Yungures. Manashins, Chifi to Tuanas, should be then Shanju to San Manashin, Shanju is a senior tangic to do Sanju Kumoto, Shaonabe, Sanlu de Chifi Tangures, Chifi to Tuane, Chudin La Subi, Shebalan Jubi, Zawa Yenshins, and Passion drug of Zawana to what the Shanju Sangum what it is. Zawa Yenshin. Sentient Tangila, never lay Dubayan, true in las, never lay Dubayan, true in las, Shanju Sangum what never do true is. Never lay Dubayan, true in las. Satumbi, Chudin Yan Nam, Satumbi, Chudin Yan Shanju Sam Sajuba, Goba Jubala the Sunyalena, maybe you to see in Junwa dance, Sajuba Jubala Subi Shanju Sami Yalan to go to Yunwa shoes and Malanta Yalaji Gures, maybe you to see in Junwa dance, let on be Chutin Le Zambi, Joduki Nena, Nena la Samba Tabe, Tatana Huba dance. Satumbi then Yalan to Sugal Tata Yunwashum Halanta, and then Tata Magiju Chutin La Suba to Sul Dandan Zaures. Let on be Chutin Le Zambi, Joduki la Samba Tabane, Magiju Chutin La King Taban Songures, Tabe, Tata Ne Luba dance, Tata Lojan Jean Gures, Songures, Chebado. Magajola Subi, Rajinta, Jibi Kanamatoa, Gansheba La, Yamada Regin, Donsen Moto Tanshins, Chebato Magajola Suba, Takanta Gawajo the Magajo to the lady and what to Corajo lady. Magawa Jola Suba, Lugil and Navason Agi Navaje, Easy Navasun, Jotamarba. Jola Suba, Rajinta. Jibi Kanamatoa, Lunga Ginyaba, Chimbi Shenaya, Deba Dan Rajung Shena, Deba Yingata Rajish Kanamato was. Then the Chibi Kanamato was Chibi Waki, Nishinjobatan, Walla Sobato Sukalo, Chibi Kanamato was Chibi Kanamatua, Kan Sheba Social Kari Sheba de, Shebala, Nyama religion, Donsen Mont Dances, Nyama religion, Magachu Jola Sobato Sukalo, Nayana to Pongores, Donsen Mont Dancing, the Dagi Nane Chang. Domba Kanamba Zatung Nala, Donsen Yanta Yanto, Don La Beba Shawos. The Daga Nana Jan, Dombi Tsujin. The Daga Nana Jan, Domba Kan Kelambi, Zatung, Dan Susu Tabi, Pomba Jero, Pomba Zawa Jemarbe, Pomba Je. The Nishan Ju Sambale, Zatung Jemara, Lama Yemel, Hoja Chudis, Kasa. Datu Jemmy Chudem, the Shajaman, Tejapon, Conjugu, Chibunga Metro, Zatung Juji Marbe, and then Hage, Lamani, Hoja Chudis, Milan, Junju, Rola Shambabon, what the Zatung Moviro, what to Sukan Sazajan, Musungores, Dombakan Kilambi, Zatung Nala, Don Say Yantan Yanto, Donla, Beba Shawos, the Sotaka Domba Kilamba, Lama. Lamba Yina and Shansan Dumba, Sanga Dumba Lamba Yina, the Zatung Zujin Songures, Beba Shawos, the Dashena, and Sheba Jutujin Jebu, Jebu, Jewa Jendon, Sendele, then Sotago Sujin, Shansan Sujin, Sanga Sujin to Kantu Jitu Abusumba Yina, then go. Juting Debatel Sendelica, Somba Inza, Jewa Shamale Abu Yungures. Tata Shena, Sheba Jutin Debo, Sheba Jutin Debo, Nua Jutin Debo, what Jutin Debo, Jutin Jutan Raw was. Tata Shena, Sheba Jutin Debo, Jewa Shamalaya, that Sendeli Chuglujan Abu Jeba Ina, and Tishimalaya Chulujan Abu Yungures. Tishimalaya de Yungures, or Jeremy to call it not a Tata Shena, Sheba Jutun Jebo, Jebu, Jewa Jendon, and Tse Chungus, Jewa Chamanan Soyan, and the Chutu Lunaja Kalimaba Lelabi Yungures. Tse Chungudan, Dunga Chungu, Shanju Sembi, Labana, Zuba She Nujes, Tsendele Abajigina, and Jewa Shamali Abu Yungures. She Nujes, Tata Tenala Yawan Dona ne Shindu Ji Nyadungi Jundu Gubar Jushin Jawa Domayan Shanju Sembil Habala Lumeniba Ju Tata ne Beba Shawos Sendelo de Magujubon Sujalas or Kandu to Yabusoma Bayina and Jawa Shama Pensila Yabu Yungures. Zuba She Nujis, Tata the Soba de Magajum Sujala Suba, Sota de Shansan and Sangaki, Sutin to the Yodoba Ina, Yusha Ina, Dona ne, Shintu Ji, Nyatungi, Juntu Goodness, and Nyaba Juntu Jul Kuba Jushin, Jawa Tomayan, Shanju Sembil Habala, Lumeniba, Ju, Tata and Beba Shawos. What the name was on, and Tata what the Sadaji Yabu Sungore, Tata Yabu Sungina, and Joa Shama Pengele Yabu Yungures, Jimmy, what the song don't do what the college.
That's so. That's so a Juj Ra. Okay, so Hirasa. Soa Juj. Okay, so now we move on to category number 5. As I read, I'll just give commentary because that's what Rinpoche did. Not to weaken, so this is a summary of the previous 4. Not to weaken and to increase steadily the spirit of enlightenment, the basis of the Bodhisattva deeds, is the root of engaging in deeds of ethical discipline, and so forth. It is also the best way to desist from harming any living being. Aspire to practice the ethical discipline of those at high levels and then train your mind in it. Sincerely learn right now what to adopt and what to cast aside. Starting with the ethical discipline of a beginning bodhisattva, in particular, each day frequently exercise an attitude of restraint with respect to what you know about deeds that are wrong by nature, such as the 10 non-virtues, and deeds that are wrong by prohibition. So once again, we're circling back to the 10 non-virtues, which are the initial teachings, the root teachings in terms of ethical discipline that the Buddha gave. So these really serve as the basis or the foundation for all of the other vows. So this attitude of abstention, and then keeping that abstention intact, continuing to abstain, not just abstaining once or twice. It's a continuous abstention. And then there are those, and the 10 non-virtues categorically fall under those deeds that are wrong by nature. So something that, deeds that are commonly wrong to everyone. And then the deeds of prohibition would be, for instance, the specific bodhisattva vows, for instance, if someone has taken them. So when we look at what the bodhisattva vows are, we see there are 8 root and 46 secondary. So Rinpoche began to read the bodhisattva, 18 root vows of the bodhisattva. So I'm going to just do the same. I'm going to read all 18 unless I'm stopped. I will keep from the 18 root infractions, praising myself and deriding others, not giving doctrine or wealth, not forgiving though someone apologizes, abandoning the great vehicle, stealing the property of the 3 jewels, abandoning the doctrine, stealing a saffron robe, the 5 deeds of immediate retribution, wrong view, destroying cities and so forth, teaching emptiness to the untrained, reversing someone's intention to become completely enlightened, causing someone to abandon vows of individual liberation, or deriding the hearer vehicle, falsely claiming to have realized the profound, receiving the property of the 3 jewels, bad ethics, and giving up the attitude of the altruistic promise. For 16, all 4 thorough entanglements, not considering the disadvantages, not overcoming the wish to do it, taking pleasure and delight in it, and a lack of conscience and shame are needed for there to be a root infraction. For 2, wrong view and giving up the altruistic attitude, all 4 are not needed for a root infraction. So those are the 18 root vows. So I read on. Those are among those. So those are wrong by prohibition. Those are something that are vows specific to the person who has taken them. Among these, also strive again and again to apply an attitude of restraint toward the fundamental transgressions of the vow to which you are committed. So these are the fundamentals. These are the root transgressions. So fundamental transgressions are the root. When we look at the individual liberation vow, in terms of the ordained, we would find the 4 root vows for the ordained of killing, stealing, celibacy, and lying. These are all not permitted. So those are the 4 root vows of the ordained. And they would, in the layperson vow, those are the 4 also. Just the celibacy is different for the layperson vow. And the 5th vow for the layperson, as a note, is alcohol specifically. But you can get intoxicants in general in that if you look at commentaries. Once you do this, you will be able to complete the bodhisattva training in another lifetime as a casually concordant behavior effect, with little difficulty and with little suffering. However, if you neglect these things right now, you'll be continually tainted by the very grave faults and transgressions, and moreover, for many lives you'll be unable to learn the bodhisattva trainings. So from now on, strive at these practices. So by engaging in these practices now, and by restraining oneself, refraining from certain behaviors, you're setting yourself up to very easily in the future engage in these deeds, take the actual vows, have the actual realizations, and become liberated very quickly. So it's saying that the benefits of these are not weighable, and when we look at where we begin, it begins with ethical behavior, restraint from the 10 non-virtuous activities. Okay, Kangalas.
Chudinsan, da Zoba Container, Zoba de la Narendua, Zobi Zoba zebal the gombalan jubi top zebi raduwa the jubi chitashawa the target duas ngare do te zebal ngadi duwa.
Okay. All right. Ngatsu karma junga yure.
Yeah.
True ago?
What did what legend?
Okay, so we'll just for auspicious, I'm going to begin. Of course, Rinpoche said it. The patience section now is where we would move on to, and patience has 5 categories. So the section is how to train in the perfection of patience, and there are 5. What patience is, how to begin the cultivation of patience, the divisions of patience, how to practice, and then a summary. So that is where we will begin next time. And if anyone has any questions, we can do that now. And I just want to thank everybody again for continuing to be here and making this wonderful event possible. So does anybody have any questions? In the back, we have some questions.
Thank you again for teaching us, Rinpoche, and Jeff for your translation. Under the 4th category, how to practice, can you explain the 6 supremacies, please?
The Rinpoche, the Shintu, Lapa, the Lapa Shintu Gare, the Becha de Yure, the Shintu, the Jipa. Let me find. I have to find it in the Tibetan really quick. I closed my book. I apologize. Give me 1 second. 4th section, how to practice. That's going to be page 396 in the Tibetan. Just give me 1 moment here. Layla. The Jipa, the Triwa, 395, 396. It's got to be down here. Sampi Jepa Jepu Yui. The Shintu. The Ni Yure, the Jipa, the Tambo, Shintu dan Lapa Shin, Lapa Dru Yure, the Kabiare Rinpoche, the Garopache, Lopun La, the Jipa Kabiare, the Sik Tambo, the Yure, Tsuchingi, Parshin Dupa. That's Parshin Dupa, so it's got to be right past that. Suchingi, Parshingi, Shila, Sachupa. Okay, we're getting there. Damba Drew, Dundam. Parshin, there. Damba Drew. What's a Damba Drew?
Damba Drew.
Sorry, I got there. Damba Drew.
Damba Drew, Pashin Drew,
yeah, Damba Drew.
What the need Drabomero, Pashin Drew. Running Switzerland and the Shen Switzerland Goba, Switzerland. Not Switzerland and the Shen Zoba Longoba, Switzerland. Not Switzerland and the Shen Sante Langoba, Switzerland Sante, Switzerland, or the Jamano. Damba Drew said to the Pashin Drew, then said in Drabomero.
Then a Chapagare.
Gemat and Jebal Dions.
So the 6 supremacies and the 6 perfections are very similar. He wants to get a commentary and explain it in detail. Rinpoche said when you yourself have ethical discipline and then you're establishing others in ethical discipline, it would be similar to that, but he wants to get a commentary to get specific with it. It possibly is in the general meaning of perfection by Panchen Sonandrapa. In the future, I'll answer that. Next? I thought there were 2. And then we'll close with the prayers.
So I wanted to kind of clarify what self-hatred was, and then how to avoid it, or...
Where is that? Is that in the
it's
text?
not in the... This is just a... Do you want me...
Well, how am I clarifying it, though, if he doesn't have a frame of reference to...
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean? So the word, how would I? You hear where I'm coming from here?
What's the antidote to self-hatred? It maybe is my. It's kind of maybe it's an obvious question, but
The wrong shedang yena, the wrong shedang nga control nga. The sansan the nga the gupa the nga control gang insina nga gupa. Dene the nyepa gare
컨트롤하나.
nga control lang. Wrong control. Wrong control.
컨트롤하나 요래.
Dene the nyepa gare kongichiwa.
컨트롤 녀버 샴바 공을 샴바. 돈이 공거라서. 녀버야 저 돈이 공하더래서. 근데 샴바 공어대 녀버래서.
So the antidote to anger is meditation upon love. No matter what kind of anger it is, if it's anger that's directed at yourself or anger that's directed at others, the meditation would be on love, which is wishing for beings to have happiness and its causes. So then in that case, it would be yourself. And then Rinpoche also said, coupled with meditation upon emptiness.
타버 저 많이 버시서 전지질로 넣는 것도 어떤 나지 컨트롤하서나 뒤에 샴바도 공수나 들는 거라서.
Just like the antidote, when we look at the antidote for believing that a rope is a snake, we find that is the wisdom knowing that it's a rope that's the antidote. In the same way, the antidote to hatred or anger is love. So that when there's love present, that anger or hatred is then extinguished. It's the opposite of it. So it's that which is the opponent to or opposite of it. And just as a note, I would say that meditation upon the precious human life also, and the what you can do with it. Optimism. So maybe it would be similar to that because it would be it would be an anger. So the antidote to anger is love. Okay, so we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Tu Chenarim Jesheda Sobaldu. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the three times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by the source of all powerful Abbot, Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay till samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the five great philosophical texts, exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Guti Shapi Denulang, Gatsu Lamrim Chenmo Konga Chirel Nang.
야. 너 놀대.